Welcome to the Billionaire Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Emmett Muckles. Please visit iTunes, Stitcher, or emmettmuckles.com to listen to all the episodes for free.
Today on the Billionaire Lifestyle, my guest is Terrie Christine. She helps you to shift consciously, connect intuitively, and live happy. Stay tuned because now you're going to get down to the brass tacks of why you're having some issues in your life. And they may not be things that are happening to you now. They may be something that came very early on in your life. Hey, Terrie, how are you doing today?
I am fabulous. Thank you.
You're so cute. How was your day? What'd you do today?
Wow. So my day was full of abundance. I had several clients. I had another session of my own because no matter how enlightened you are, sometimes you need a little extra tweak. So I had a sound healer session for me, and then I had another client, and I'm in the middle of writing my book, so I was doing some edits. I got my first draft, so I've got quite a few things going on.
Good. So, well, just for those who might not have caught it, this is the superpowers woman. This is the blonde Wonder Woman who has awesome red glasses. If you can always go to her website, which is terriechristine.com, and that's TERRIE, and then Christine like the car, the movie, CHRISTINE.com. You can find out all about us, what she does, and what she really does is, like I said, she has superpowers. She is clairaudient, clairvoyant, and clairsentient. For those of you who don't know what clairsentient is, that's about feeling. That's like that empathy that you have for people. As a matter of fact, sometimes I wonder if I'm like that because I go through some issues when I'm around certain people. But how does this translate for you into helping your clients?
So, it's all about intuition. And so what happens is that with our lives so full of what's going on, our businesses, our family, our friends, and whatever experiences we have going on around us, we disconnect into connecting into who we are, meaning trusting and knowing our GPS, the inner knowing, the inner guidance system, right?
Yeah.
And so then people consider what's going on around them as coincidences or whatever they want to call it, when there are no coincidences in the world. So when I work with a client, I connect into my own intuition, which allows me to see, know, feel, and do whatever it is they're struggling with, pains, resentment, heartache, whatever it is. I connect into that energy. And then I can tell them, it's all energy.
No,
So
I'm going to tell you what I was thinking about. I'm going to tell you what crossed my mind was like, I'm glad you were not my girlfriend when I was 20.
Because you couldn't lie.
I couldn't lie.
Exactly. I always tell my kids I'm not a really good person that you should be lying to.
Right.
And, it's all about trusting that inner knowing, right? That GPS, that yes. And so when I work with clients, we have an abundance, a plethora of limiting beliefs and blocks that were created. Most of the time, they're created before the age of 7, but, we can have them in our teens, in our 20s, and beyond, depending on the experiences that are around us. And so if you think about it, we come through the love canal and we breathe our first breath. And as a child, with every breath we take, we are deciding how to experience life, what we're going to take in. Now, as we reflect back upon it, as we stand here today as an adult, we have an educated mind, and that mind tells us, well, I experienced that, and I know what to do, not to do, and all of that. But a child is experiencing it for the first time. And in the child's mind, they're saying, okay, I want more of that. I don't want more of that. Dad didn't do this. Mom's doing too much of that. And then they own that, and it becomes part of the subconscious. And then what happens is that as we get older, 20, 30, 40, and beyond, people around us will say things or do things that will trigger the feeling that bubbles up. And then that feeling is part of the subconscious because our subconscious remembers everything. It's like a blueprint. It remembers everybody we see, all the experiences we had. Those emotions bubble up. And then what happens is we're an adult. And if you're not as enlightened as some, such as me, that you'll think what's in front of you is what is happening. However, it's the experience of what they said or did to bubble up the feeling that was from the past. And so work with people to release those limiting beliefs and blocks that are in that subconscious so that they can say that person is not doing it to them or life is not that bad. They can live life with more ease and grace by letting go and releasing those vibrations or those blueprints that are in their subconscious.
So is that part of that, the biggest struggles that people have is it things that they've accumulated into their subconscious as a collective, or do you see it's varying with person to person? Like myself, I know that everything is okay, but I will walk into a place and I will just feel some doom and gloom. Everything's fine, but I will literally feel doom and gloom. And someone has to reassure me, no, everything's good. I'm like, why do I feel this way?
Mm-hmm. So there's an answer to two of those. So when a person is living their life, no two people are the same. None. Because you're living in that space, in that time, with those parents, with their limiting beliefs, and that's what's created, and those are the false and limiting beliefs that you're creating. Okay? When you, that is that person. So you said about the collective consciousness. So collective consciousness is when you have a group of people, and I call it the bubble right above you. It's all the collective consciousness. So when you when you have a thought like comes out like a little puff of smoke from your shell, meaning your human form, your being, and that thought is a vibration, and that comes out and becomes part of the collective consciousness. So if I'm doing a group clearing or a group energy clearing, I can pick up the strongest block for the entire group. But if I'm doing one-on-one sessions, then I'm working with you and your limiting beliefs and your blueprints and all of that. So now that's the answer to that question. The other question that you said was that you can step into the room and feel this doom and gloom and yuckiness. So because you are all energy, even though you look in the mirror and you see yourself as a separate being, it's just the body. Everything in your body is energy. Everything outside of your body is energy. So when you have a thought, it becomes outside of your body. So then the energy within you, view it as like creative visualization. You can actually expand your energy by closing your eyes and looking at yourself as like a peacock with that peacock tail. And you can expand your energy as if you were looking in your mind's eye, like expanding the peacock tail. So when someone is in a room and they're having an argument, that argument can expand outside of their human form. And so when you step into the room and something happened right before you walked in, you are going to feel their energy. And that is the truth. So it's not you, it's what you're picking up in that room.
I pick up a lot of stuff. I must be like one of those antennas that's on top of the clock in the center of the city. But you know, that makes absolute sense, because there are some times when, and I'm just using me as the example because I go through this frequently, where I will be fine, and then I will step into a house, a room, a workplace, and all of a sudden everything just drops down, and I'm just feeling kind of blue, and I'm like, I don't know where this is coming from. Like, you're apprehensive. But yeah. That's just me. I'm just using myself as an aggregate so people can understand what's going on. When you say you're clairvoyant and clairaudient, how does that come across? Is that when you're working with clients, you can pick up these pieces and help them identify what's going on, or how does that function?
Yeah, I love that question, because everything being energy, I can step into, just like I can step into your energy and feel where your limiting beliefs and blocks are. And when I am clairvoyant, allows me to see movies or flashes of things in my head. So when I'm connecting to someone and they're working with me, I'll say, give me a minute, and I'll close my eyes and I'll ask inside, okay, tell me the strongest blocks, show me, so I can help them in a profound way. Yes, I say that to myself. And then I will see a full-blown movie, and then I'll interpret what I see as that movie so that I can bring it to their current state, and like the jigsaw puzzle, put the two pieces together so they can see, oh, this is my challenges, and then this is where I am today. And I'll give you an example just briefly. I had a client right before I talked to you, and two things with her. We were talking about expanding and feeling the energy around. So she told me she's from Mexico, and she says, I don't know why, but this morning I woke up with a very profound sense of loss. I was so sad. I looked online, and Mexico had an earthquake.
Yeah, my wife texted me about that today too.
Yeah, and I didn't know until I looked online. However, when someone is very connected to their country or their heritage, they can feel their country. And so she was feeling the loss of her bandmates, of her tribe, technically from Mexico, right?
Yep.
And she was feeling it. And another good example is that after the election, I'm zero politics. I don't really follow it except for what people tell me. And after the election happened, it was about 3 a.m. I woke up and I had this huge sense of failure and loss. And I'm far from that. I did. And I was sad. And then all of a sudden, starting at 8 a.m., and multiple clients texting me and calling me, asking me to help them clear the pain that they were feeling because they felt that, they wanted things to go a different way.
Yeah.
And so when you have an overwhelming feeling in the entire world, then everyone will feel it. And I actually, because I'm so expanded, felt this sense of what people were feeling, this sense of loss. So that actually, as I said, everything is energy, and you can feel that. Now with her, when I was working with her, her connection was dad. When I saw a story in my head, and I started hearing loss and disconnect, because I can hear small little words, or I can hear full-blown sentences. Because I consider myself like a glass straw. I allow what to come through me, and I am the messenger. I've been doing it so long that I'm accurate. I trust what I hear, feel, and see. The person can live in denial and go, no, 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 but I get right to the point. I get right to the challenge, and then I say, okay, this is how we let that go. But most people that come to me are wanting more of what they want versus what they have. So they're beyond that resistance, more than what they want, more of what they want versus what they have. And so they're beyond, there you go. So they're beyond that resistance because they're open to say, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah.
So that when they work with me, it may be an alternative way, meaning being energy work or connecting to you, but I provide results and I get them where they want to be.
So let's say that someone knows you. This could be someone that's, in your circle or in your extended circle. They know what you do, but I can do this on my own. Is that a factor, or do people necessarily need help?
So a doctor can't operate on his own body, right?
That's true.
Exactly. And so even myself, no matter how enlightened a person is, they still had a mom and dad or sister, brother, grandmother, grandfather. They still created their own limiting blocks and beliefs. You can spend years and years and years. I've spent almost 15 years totally working on all my mama drama, stuff from dad, from mom, and everybody else. However, now, in the past couple of months, I've been triggered with relationship stuff. And then it just takes to be in the right place for the jigsaw to come together, to be triggered up and to heal from it. So I tell people, yes, I remember being years and years ago saying, you know what, I'll read that book, I'll watch that YouTube, I'll take that course, that digital course, and I'll take care of it myself. However, it's very hard, especially when it's in your subconscious, to say, okay, my dad wasn't around. I felt a sense of abandonment, and this abandonment is causing me to have relationship issues because I'm really good at money, but terrible at relationships. And being able to put it together and then clear that is where I take it to a very profound level. So if you're really wanting to move forward and you're really wanting to see these patterns and stuck and sick and tired of being sick and tired, then take it another level and work with someone, because it really truly is a little difficult to go back to the things that you don't recall or don't remember because it is in your subconscious, and be able to put it together.
So is there a group, is there a coalition of people like yourself who work throughout the country, throughout the world, or can you do it can you perform, I don't want to say perform, can you interact with people remotely?
Yes, actually, 99% of my clients are around the world. And I had to go, what is that percentage? But yes, I am known now, locally here where I live outside of Washington, D.C. However, because there is no time and space with energy, Emmett, I can connect to you right here, right now, tell you your own limiting beliefs, mom, dad, whatever
No,
it was.
we don't want to talk about that here.
No, I'm not going to do that with you. But I wouldn't throw you under the bus, but I can, because see, even though you're where you are, I am where I am, I can feel your energy and tell you that. So I have clients in Australia, UK, Estonia, and I either go work through them, Skype, WhatsApp, FaceTime, or whatever it is. And then, because sometimes they want to see me, and then sometimes it's just phone. But I'm connecting to them, and I'm telling them what it is that I see, feel, and know. And then I use the energy statements to help them shift out those limiting beliefs.
So once you get past these barriers, and I know it's probably a process, it's not like you come in and say, hey, my leg is broke, and you put a bandage on it, and you're like, you'll be good in 3 weeks. Once they get into the fray and start accepting and start understanding and working, and then they get into manifesting what they want, how does that process work?
Mm-hmm. So, starting with working with an intuitive, because that's what we are, that, you're going deep into the subconscious, you're releasing the limiting beliefs and blocks, and then a tiny bit of homework. Now, it's not about journaling or sitting in the corner oming for hours. It's not like that. What I do is I give a little bit of homework in your current lifestyle, meaning when you're taking a shower, brushing your teeth, putting your shoes on, getting dressed, driving a car, those are moments that are spaces in your head. Most of the time, those times are used, what am I doing for work? What am I eating for dinner? What's for lunch? Now, get rid of that chatter and use it productively, meaning you can ask the universe certain questions to receive, like a master manifester. You can state, what will it take statements. You can do mirror techniques. You can...
Whoa. What's the mirror techniques? What are you referring to?
So a mirror technique is when you're looking in the mirror, pupil to pupil, and you're saying, I love you. I love you so much. I love you with all my heart. And what happens is that if anyone were to start that for the very first time, they may feel a sense of, this doesn't feel right. It's yucky. I have a hard time looking at myself, because they disconnected from their own internal love. I usually know those people similar to what they're easily saying, like if they use the word think a lot, meaning they're not trusting their self, right? Or that they are giving, meaning they're not open to receive, so they don't feel worthy. So I'll give that as an exercise that every time you're in the bathroom, just look in the mirror. Give yourself a couple seconds. I love you. I walk by every mirror. I'm like, girl, I love you. Because I feel it.
Now, I'm going to tell you the reason why I ask you that specific question, because it came up in conversation. But at the end of every podcast, this is what I tell the audience. When you get out the shower, wipe the fog or mist off of it and just spend time and look at those eyes. If you got wrinkles, look at those. Look at the moles. Look at whatever you have, because that's the person you need to love the most. Because if you're in love with that person, love will come to you and everything will be relatively beautiful in your life because you started at your source.
That's exactly right. Take it one little step further and know that as you're looking at that person, the reflection of your inner being, everything is perfect right here, right now, in that time and space. Nothing else truly matters except for the love that you have within yourself, to yourself, and for yourself.
So is that the science behind it?
So the science behind it is connecting deeply into your soul, into your being, knowing that you love yourself no matter what. So it's really, truly reconnecting, because most of us are disconnected from our own being.
You know, I honestly believe that. And, you know, even those people who are very secure and have an understanding about their beings, everybody has a moment of fault where something happens and you lapse back, but, you know, you can get back to yourself. So do you have any examples that you could give people so people could have a better understanding, maybe some clients? And I know sometimes some of this is privileged information but are there any examples that you could paint a picture for the Billionaire Lifestyle audience so they can understand a little better?
Using the mirror technique, or?
No, just using techniques in general for manifesting the things that they want, that they want.
I love you. So I'm a master manifester. And when I was 8 years old, I was hit by a car. And actually, the last 2 months, I just found out I died. I always thought that I was just in a coma for 10 days, but I actually died on the street. And after that, my life was a sea of magnificent manifesting, because I thought, well, if I truly wanted, I'm a kid. Kids have no fear. They're like, got that. But my parents were teenage parents. They were 19 and had 3 kids, and we were not triplets.
Ooh.
I know it. I know it. So there was a lot of lack in our life. Electricity was cut off. We ate eggs for dinner quite often.
Been there.
Things like that.
I've been there.
So, yeah. So, you know, you can relate. And so, but, you know, things that I wanted a new pair of shoes. I wanted a new jacket. My mind, nope. My mom like, nope. And I'm like, no, I don't know what no means. And I'm like, I want it. I feel it. And then I just visualize it and I make it happen. So here's a good example. I was able to manifest my car. So at the time, I had this one car, and I'm like, you know, I don't really need, you know, car was only 3 years old, but I wanted another car, and I started visualizing it, and I started seeing it because I wanted to go back to a convertible. I had one years and years ago. I did. I felt like I needed to have the sun and the wind in my hair. And so first off, I did go to the dealership to get their brochure. And that's all I did. I walked in, got the brochure, and then I put it in my windowsill at my office at the time, because this was years ago. And then so that gave me, again, similar to like a vision board where you have the idea of it right in front of your face. Mm-hmm. So I had the brochure, the beautiful car right in front of me, BMW convertible. Like, ooh, I love it. Every day I would see it multiple times, 8 hours per day. And then I'm like, okay, it's time to go test drive it, because I wanted to feel that I owned it. So I test drove it, had the top down, driving around, and I started saying, my car, my car, my car, when I was driving it. So now I'm at the dealership, and of course, you know how they want to put the pressure on you, but I had no pressure because I didn't need that car. I wanted that car, right? I didn't have that opportunity where my car was broken down or very, very old. I just wanted it. So I had the upper hand, quote unquote, right? So I went in knowing I did a little bit of homework. So I checked how much my current car was with the mileage. And so I knew, because you have to do a little bit of homework to step into it. You have to feel you own it.
Right.
Okay. So I knew how much the value of my car was based on what they were selling it on the dealerships. I knew what my car, you know, was, and I knew where I felt, and I knew what I was going to spend. So, and because I have some background in sales, I had about 20 years of sales. So I went in.
You don't look that old.
Thank you. So I went in, and you know that it's funny because they said, okay, this is what we're going to give you, and I said, don't insult me, and I left, and they're like, no, wait, because you know I did all my homework, right. But there was no pressure, and I owned it. So then they brought someone else in, and then we kind of, you know how they always get you to say yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, and I already know it. And I also know when you fold your arms and they fold your arms, depending on who has controlling. So I would fold my arms and then he would fold his arms. So I knew I was in control. So if he folded his arms and I fold my arms, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, because I'm still in control. So, because that's how it works. You just watch. It's the mirror thing. You're the one who's in control. You'll see if you put your hand like this or on your hips. If you move your hands around your body, if you're comfortable enough in what you do and you own the conversation, you'll see the other one will mirror you. So that's who owns the conversation. And that's just a sales thing. You'll see it. And then so they brought in second guy, and then he was mirroring what I was doing, so I knew it. But then he's getting me to see yes, yes, yes. But in my head, I knew no, 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 because I knew what I wanted.
You're playing the game.
Yeah, I was playing the game, and then he couldn't get to me, and I'm like, nope, that's not working for me. You're insulting me. No, because I know what my car is valued at. So then 1 more minute, I'll get you somebody. So then they send in the shark, the juggler guy. He goes for the juggler and, like a little dog with a toy. He's shaking you all around. So we're angling it. And then, half an hour in, he said, are you in sales? And I said, I just know how to play the game. I just want it to be truthful. I want it to be in love. I'm not desperate, and neither are you. And actually, we got within $500.
That's good.
So
win-win.
Win-win. So remember, when you're going in to manifest, we have to be fair, truthful, honest, and go with what it is that you want. Because, being fair and truthful. So, of course, everybody would like to say, I want $50,000 for my car and it's only worth $10,000. Well, that's not being fair. Okay? We have to be fair, and we have to be truthful, and we have to know what we want. And so when you focus all of that and you're master manifesting, you can create all that it is what you want with ease and grace. And I do that all the time.
But this just sounds like you knew the game. And I hate to say it that way, but I do understand what you mean, because you had already set up in your mind what you wanted. Mm-hmm. Except they didn't know that.
That's right. So I had the upper hand, right? But you see, that's how energy works. And if you have somebody that's intuitive like me, then it's kind of a game back and forth. Ooh. And then everything is open and honest, right? If you are an intuitive and I'm an intuitive, we don't have to play the game. We can just say, this is what I want, this is what we want, and we meet in the middle. But in that case, I had the upper hand of being the intuitive, knowing how to play the game. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you want a new car and you're not as intuitive as I do. Then you know what you want. You do have to do a little bit of homework. So get the idea of how much your car is worth, what kind of car you want, how much you're willing to pay. And then you meet in the middle. Fair, right? Truthful, and what it is that you want. And if you can't do the negotiation on your own, you will manifest having someone else help you, or they won't bring in the big dog. They'll start seeing and talking to you on that level that they understand that you truly do want what you want.
Why are you not doing sales trainings? You look like, no, please, Emmett. No, please.
I have a lot of that background, but it really is. I am teaching I have a 9-month course that teaches how to connect into your intuition. And so I am teaching technically sales techniques, but I'm doing it in a very truthful, loving manner for people to connect into their own GPS and then know what other people around them are doing and seeing and feeling and knowing. So you'll know when someone's not being truthful, and you'll know when your employee's not listening because their ear chakras are closed, or they're condensed, or they've had some life challenges and they're holding their energy close. So it allows you to be more interactive without them really knowing the truth that you know the truth. You see what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. And I want to ask you about your media. So what about your podcast?
So, I spent years, I created my own podcast. It was The Power of Trusting Knowing. Mm-hmm. And I did it because I wanted more exposure, and I wanted to, and I wasn't even, I didn't know the direction I was going in when I started it. So I thought, it's just going to be me. But I kind of get bored quickly, and I got tired of hearing my own voice. And I know it sounds cute and pretty and all that, but I kind of got tired of hearing the reflection of myself. So I said, ooh, I'm going to highlight people just like you are, holding the space to highlight some magnificent people. And during that time, I learned a lot. I highlighted a lot of people with, in showcasing them to the world. But over time, I realized that I was putting all of my stuff on hold. And so
personally,
my book and my programs and helping more people in a very profound way. Because as you know, it takes a little bit more than just plugging in and start talking, feedback, and you need to profile, and you need their questions, and you need just a chat with them.
Yeah, this is the easy part.
It is the easy part. Yeah, it is. So, over time, I realized that I had to switch and change. Now, I want to speak this out because this will help a lot of people. When we step into a decision, we step into it with excitement and fun and knowing we're going into the energy and this is what we want to create and do. Sometimes, over time, that energy can shift. And then we can create, that's right, you went down with your hand, and that energy can shift and feel like a sense of loss or failure or all that. I want you to know you're simply only going with the energy. You're not a failure. You're not losing anything. The energy has shifted, and you're just going with, as they say, go with the flow. And so and here's how it all comes together. When I decided to step out, my girlfriend, who's a business coach, kept saying, you need to pull away, you need to focus on other business expansions. I started feeling that sense of loss. And I'm like, I can't. She's like, nope, got to do it. And then when I did, I stepped back, I went inside, and I said, with that experience, what did I learn and how can I use it? At that time, I was building a new website. I had hired this company, and we were rebranding. I was able to turn all of those podcasts into recorded podcasts that are now currently on my website. Because at the time, I didn't have anything. I didn't have any recordings. I'm like, I got to have more. People have to feel more of me. But I was able to utilize, so there was no failure. It was expanding and growing. I was able to utilize the experience that I had of being on both sides of the microphone. So I help people like you. So when you interview me, it is really easy. I know your side and I know mine. And also utilizing these recordings so that people can hear them and understand what you do and understand what I do.
Very good.
So it's always a win-win. I always see things as how can you use what you are doing or what you experience. It's never a waste, and you're never a failure.
So I want to find out about your membership. I mean, first of all, your website I love it. I love your design. I like how it really kind of matches your personality and color with the pictures. So kudos to you. And you have a membership component to your website. Can you explain a little bit about that, how what's involved with it, and how people can ingratiate themselves with it?
Awesome. So there are many different levels that I've created for people to work with me. So if it's coming down to what it is they're wanting to step into it, may it be for, they feel more comfortable with group stuff, or they want one-on-one stuff, or they want a more profound learning by teaching them. And so I've created all these different avenues so that they can step into what it is that they're choosing. So with my membership vault, I've created what's called Power Stream. So I've got the download that some of my programs need to end with stream. So you'll find my opt-in is Theta Stream, which is a guided meditation with theta sound that takes you to the deeper levels of the mind.
That's Theta, Theta, right?
Theta Stream. Theta sound is a sound that takes your mind to a deeper level.
Oh, yeah.
And then Mag Stream. Mag Stream, which is a 5-phase visualization technique that takes you from where you are today, like emotionally, no matter where you are, it'll start with you emotionally. And within 5 phases, takes you to the love within, all in 15 minutes. And then I have Power Stream. A Power Stream is a monthly online group energy clearing. It happens the first of every month. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. And so there's no time and space with energy. You'll hear me say that quite often. We come together on an online platform, And then I can feel, remember, no time and space. I can feel you anywhere in the world. I feel the collective consciousness of the group. And then I have a particular topic each month. And then for 90 minutes live, I'll clear everything wrapped around that limiting belief of whatever it is. Like one time we had erasing limiting beliefs. Another was eliminating doubt, things like that. And so then it becomes a recording. And then on my membership vault, you can go back in and listen to the recording, unlimited. Awesome. Yeah. So it's a program that people can go back and listen to. And remember, when you're doing things live and you're doing things recorded, you're still placing the same energy vibration within a live session and a recorded session. Did you know, Emmett, that when you write things down, like you're emailing people, if they're intuitive, they can feel your energy within your email, because typing energy going through your words, you can feel it. So the same thing, I know, isn't it crazy? I'm real good at that. And then also the same thing when people are coming together on a group platform, an online platform, I can feel it all, and then I help them shift. And then again, when they go back to the recordings, that's why I tell people listen to it multiple times so that you can take in the clearings to erase those subconscious beliefs.
Yeah, I believe that. I'm serious. I have to reinforce, because I catch bits and pieces of things that even when I know it, I get something new out of things constantly. So what do you have coming up in the future? You said you're working on a book.
I am.
What's the name of the book?
Wow. I'm so super excited. It's been in the works for quite some time, but now I had to hire a content editor, and I got the first draft, which it's really, really good. And now I'm just editing certain things. But it's The Secret Power of You, Harnessing the Power Within. So everybody, yeah, go ahead.
No, I keep going. I was just going to ask you, when is it going to be out?
I'm hoping in the next 30 days.
Oh, you're pushing it, aren't you?
I'm hoping in the next 30 days. Yeah, because the edit actually, or the draft is really good. I wrote so much content that I didn't have to edit too much of it. But, some people, when they're putting your words together, just have to get a little to flow a little more. So, and then I'm just waiting to see the component of the book cover. Okay. And it's going to be about 125 pages, so it's not going to be a great big book right now.
That's a good read.
Something that people can go back and read it again, and then use it like a workbook. Because I've got components about the business, and it's more than just goal setting. It's connecting and helping you see where your triggers are and your limiting beliefs. I have case studies in there. I help you that if you see this or feel this, then that's what that is. So, I'm giving you the tools to help you move forward and let some of those limiting beliefs, or at least see them, so that you can move forward. If you're not willing to step up into working with anyone, then here's a tool that can profoundly help you. And I show you and tell you by some of my former clients.
Awesome. And if you go to terriechristine.com, the first thing that you will see is her floating and kicking and living happily. But below that, she has a claim it now. Are you experiencing only random gifts of happiness? So take the first step towards consciously shifting your life and living happily, so you can stop missing out with her free guided meditation. So that's pretty awesome that you give that away, just by coming to, and that's going to terriechristine.com. Who did your website, by the way?
It was a woman who lives in Texas, and I have a little secret, because I'm kind of changing some things. That website is going to be flipped over in about a week or so.
Oh.
But no, you'll still get Theta Stream. There'll still be, my sales funnel will still have all of that. My book will be offered on there, so that's why I'm, kind of trying to knock it out and get it on there. But it is changing slightly because, my background, just like you embraced me, you embraced me so well that you reached out to welcome me. However, I have these random words like universe and energy and psychic and medium and all that can be like a little step back. Whoa, hold on. However, I help people so profoundly in their personal life and their business life. So I'm switching a few of the words so that people can feel more safe, that I'm not this crazy wacko girl, that I really, you know, and that's really, you know, really.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because,
I got it.
Because some people have a very succinct view of life and things in their life. And when you ingratiate their life with certain words and philosophies, it doesn't register and they immediately discount it. And
that's right.
And that's part of what I do is I don't discount. I've learned not to discount anyone because everyone has a great deal of value that they're going to bring to the table. And sometimes you just need to, even if you don't believe what's going on, you just need to sit down and listen. And when you listen, what's going to happen is it may not be then, it may not be 5 minutes, it may not be 5 months. But at some point you're going to go, oh, now I see how that's relevant in my life.
That's right. And also remember, as you're bringing in people, and you said, you know, I may not resonate or I may not believe it. However, you're allowing yourself to listen, right? Like you said, and if it doesn't resonate, that's awesome. But if it does, that's up into being able to move forward in your life. And if I'm not resonating with you, I may be resonating with the person sitting next to you, or your sister, or your mom, or your wife, or your husband.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's my whole point. There may be someone out there who's just, there may be like one sentence that you said that clears it all up. And that's what the billionaire lifestyle is about. It's about the billions of lifestyles. Choose what you want. Find what your heart wants. That's what your life is dictating. And I went through this thing with someone the other day where it's really not about money. It's about living, and money is a new construct. It really is only about 100 or so years old where this focusing on money, because most of us were farmers or or some
trade.
Something like that.
Exactly.
We weren't thinking about money. But that's neither here nor there. I have to ask you this. Give me every way that someone can reach you.
Oh, awesome. So I'm on my website at terriechristine.com. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at Terrie Christine. Oh my God, what else do I have? I do, when you opt in, I will be sending you a weekly newsletter, and it has a little 3-minute video of whatever it is for that particular Friday, the last one said how to find your voice. I did how to eliminate or how to follow your fears and things like that, you know, there might be 1 week that you're like, oh, and you get that email and you get that little video. It's like, man, I needed to hear that. That was so perfect. So right. So, you know, and then forward along to someone else that you feel like it could help you. But most of the platforms of, you know, social media. Oh, I'm on Instagram. I forgot that.
Got to be on Instagram nowadays.
Yep, on Instagram. I just place a little picture there.
What about Facebook?
Yep, I'm on Facebook at Terrie Christine. I have a business page and a personal page.
Twitter?
I'm on Twitter, yeah. So Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I have a YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
And with my videos. So, yeah, I think I hit every platform there.
Awesome. So it's been a great pleasure having you on the show. Thank you so much. So I have to go through and say it like this. You're going to do it. You are going to do it. We talked about it. So you're going to get up or you're going to pass by. But I need you to do this. It's preferably if you do it when you get out the shower because you're in your birthday suit. And I need you to really own what is in that mirror. I need you to look at it. I need you to just be sexy with it, with yourself. I need you to accept and love those eyes that are looking back at you because that is your soul. That is that mini universe that is wrapped around in your eyeballs. If you look close enough, you'll know what I'm talking about. But the big thing is you need to appreciate and love and have gratitude for that person that's looking back at you, that image that's looking back at you, because this will change our entire world if you just know that you are loved. Even if you're not feeling that you love that you love yourself right now, know that somebody loves you. And if that is a problem, just say, I know this guy Emmett loves me. He's never met me, but he loves me because I'm giving you that love. I got some levels of love for you, and I want you to go in peace with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was awesome.
Until next time, peace. Say peace, TC.
Thank you.